Well, hello everybody, this is John Michael. It's the second Sunday of Advent, and today we hear about John the Baptist, who's out in the wilderness, out in the eremos. Eremos is where we get eremite, where we get hermit. And remember that when they're alone, that's monos, or monos, M-O-N-O-S, monos, and it means alone. It's where we get the word monk. So interesting words. But he's out there, and the scripture is a quote from Isaiah the prophet, to make straight in the desert a highway for the Lord. Make a highway for our God. See, sometimes when we go out and we have to do the rugged stuff of our spiritual life, we learn lessons, and we want to pass those lessons on to the next generation. So sometimes you go out into the desert, it's a very crooked road, and we want to make those paths straight so that the next generation can travel that path easier. Where are they going? Well, they're going back to the homeland. It's the regathering in Isaiah the prophet. So the people who are dispersed from the homeland are called to come back. Now, historically, we know that only about maybe 20% of the people who were called by the prophets to come back did, because they were doing really well out in the dispersion, in the diaspora. But today, that means, what are we calling people to come back to? First of all, to Jesus. Well, you got to do that. Second, to the church. Come back to the church. That's a little tougher, because sometimes it's really nice out there in those splinter churches and in those groups. They do some things pretty well. So I don't want to come. But you got to come. If you want to be back in the homeland, you got to come. And we have to make that journey easy. Come back to the family. Well, I don't want to come back to the family. I love that James Taylor song. I was raised up family. Man, I'm glad I'm on my own. Sometimes family members are hard, but you come back to the family. You reconcile those relationships. You come back to your society, to your culture. We can come back to the homeland of our nation, and then we can come back to the homeland of our earth and make our whole earth better. Some of you are space cadets. You have to come back to earth. So, are we making straight in the wilderness a highway for the Lord? And that means making straight in the wilderness a highway for our brothers and sisters. Let's love them, and let's comfort them, and make their journey to Jesus easier than perhaps it was for us. I love you guys. All things are possible with God.